Thanks for checking out our video. Feel free to join our free weekly newsletter called Pop Culture Annotated, and also join our Discord server to talk with us and others that share your fandom in pop culture entertainment. Links in the description. Hey everybody, how's it going? So somebody online did the hard work and posted on Reddit and 4chan all of the previous ideas from old scripts and discarded ideas that ended up not being put into the final version of Avengers Infinity War. So if you want to take it with a grain of salt, this is more of just a fun video to kind of, if all this is true, it's just kind of nice to see sometimes the creative process of making these movies and kind of what comes, what goes, what stays, and what maybe is going to be saved for Avengers Endgame, because we do know that they filmed both movies at the same time. So it's very possible they filmed a scene for Infinity War, and then upon looking at it again, they were like, you know what, that scene would be better put in Endgame. And there's actually a few moments where they kind of mentioned stuff like that, where originally something was going to be in Infinity War, and then the Russo brothers, upon further, reflection of that, decided, no, let's save this for Endgame. So let's get right into it. Originally, the movie was going to take place showing Thanos destroying Xandar to acquire the Power Stone, and Glenn Close was going to reprise her role as Nova Prime, but I guess the Russos felt it was kind of unnecessary to really show all that, which is why instead we started off with him already having the Power Stone. Now, the movie also is going to feature, Captain America and Iron Man meeting each other again, kind of working out their differences, but the Russos felt that might be better served being saved for Avengers Endgame, kind of letting that have its own moment in that capacity, since there's already a lot going on in Avengers Infinity War. And as well, early drafts featured more voiceover narration from Thanos, more of his backstory, including his childhood on Titan, the planet's destruction, and also how he put together the Black Order. And we actually heard this a lot of times from early reporting, so it's nice to see that they were thinking about doing this, but I guess at the same time, it's not really necessary. You can touch upon Thanos' backstory in a future story, whether it's a graphic novel, whether it's an animated special and Disney Plus show. I don't think you had to introduce Thanos' childhood and stuff like that in this film, because some of the greatest film villains of all time, you didn't really know anything about them besides when they were in the film as the villain. Now, Thor's storyline also went through a few different versions. One of them was, instead of him getting Stormbreaker, he got the other enchanted axe he used when he was unworthy. I think it was Jarnborn or something like that is how you pronounce it. My apologies if I screwed it up. And also another one was Thor venturing to a kind of astral world of sorts, where he was able to talk to the spirit of not only Odin, but also his grandfather Bor, seeking guidance on how to defeat Thanos. Besides that, the Russos also originally wanted to keep Captain America out of the movie until two moments. The first moment was him intervening when Corvus Glaive was attacking Vision, and the second moment that was potentially going to be his entry point was during the Battle of Wakanda instead of Thor's entrance. So that would have been interesting. A little uncertain to see if maybe, hey, was Thor going to be just saved for Endgame in that capacity? Because that would have been a very interesting change if Thor never appeared on Earth again until maybe Endgame. Now, the Russos also, wanted to have Hulk bursting out of his Hulkbuster armor to join the Battle of Wakanda, and I guess this is why originally in the Infinity War trailer we saw Hulk in Wakanda, but later on in development they decided, no, it's kind of just a cop-out for Bruce Banner. Let's kind of develop more of the Bruce Banner Hulk dynamic without resorting to such a cliche moment. So I do agree with them on that point. I think that I was expecting, to see Hulk come out in Infinity War where he's fighting in the Hulkbuster armor, but I'm happy he didn't come out, because it kind of would have been a cop-out. Also, originally there was some other parts of the film where in one cut of the film, Doctor Strange, it was going to start with Doctor Strange appearing to Tony and Pepper in the park instead of starting on the Asgardian ship, and they were just going to tell that during flashbacks instead from when the Guardians found Thor. Also originally they were going to kind of talk more about what the Secret Avengers have been doing so far with Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon, kind of stopping terrorist threats here and there, including nuclear weapons being bought in the Middle East. Now Captain Marvel originally was going to appear, in some drafts, meeting the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy on Titan, following, Thanos' ways of destruction, where it's all leading to, but I'm also happy they didn't include her, because it probably would have been just a lot of characters being introduced, being really thrown into the plot of the film. And also originally Howard the Duck was going to appear, in a funny scene, meeting the Guardians in a space bar to just provide some exposition and information on Thanos. Now, some drafts also had Valkyrie playing a larger part, showing the Asgardians being, kind of shuffled through escape pods, while Thanos and the Black Order were killing a lot of them off. And as well, I guess another draft was going to kind of talk more about the Black Order, you know, develop them more, especially Corvus and Proxima Midnight's relationship, which I guess originally was being envisioned as a parallel to Vision and Scarlet Witch's relationship. We kind of touched upon this in a different video, but originally Thanos' journey to the Soul World had a large pool of blood, like actual blood, that he was stepping into, which was called both the blood of people he snapped and also the blood of those he killed in his quest for the Infinity Stones. Also, I guess Star-Lord pulling the trigger on Gamora and Nowhere originally wasn't going to happen, but it was something Chris Pratt basically improvised that he thought would be good for the scene and good for the characters. Spider-Man's death was originally kind of the same as everybody else's, not really that dramatic. Tom Holland thought it would be better to have him more dramatic and saying to Tony, I don't want to die, stuff like that. Just really playing up the emotional tug pull of that moment. That's really all this person says. They say a few other things that just kind of don't really make, I think, that much sense, and I don't really feel like or that believable. Like if this was in a draft of the movie, it must have been in the first draft, which was Spider-Man being absent in the movie. I just don't see how that would have been possible. Spider-Man's way too big of a character to not be in a movie like this. But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this? Would you like to see some of these things? What would you have picked for the movie to be still included, and what do you hope that wasn't in Infinity War hopefully can be used in Endgame? But comment below, and we'll see you guys later.